On this special DNC preview edition of Vote Her In, you'll hear an interview with Rachel Wallace, who helps lead women's engagement for the Biden campaign. We'll talk all about what to expect at the DNC, how a Biden-Harris administration would support women, and how we can all get involved in the campaign. Hi, everyone. This is Kelly, and this is a special Monday morning edition of Vote Her In as we preview the exciting DNC convention this week. Vote Her In, of course, is a collaboration between Two Broads Talking Politics and author Rebecca Sive, and I'm going to turn it over to Rebecca now to introduce our guest. Hi, Rebecca.
Hi, Kelly. I'm so pleased to be here. You know, everybody, I know you're looking ahead to the DNC and learning about what we can all do. And it just occurred to us that we should try to do a special pre-convention edition for you and for us and for all the women we want to have energized through November 3rd and, of course, beyond. And, you know, as we were thinking about it, I remembered something that Senator Harris said the other day when Vice President Biden said she was his selection. She said, it's all on the line. And I think that's exactly right. She said, it's all on the line, everything we care about. So here to join us today to talk about this and what we all can do, what we can expect this week is Rachel Wallace, who runs the women's program for the Biden campaign, has a lot of deep background on these issues, including working for Senator Brian Schatz from Hawaii. So we're just delighted, Rachel, you're here. And so pleased you're taking the time. And of course, I think what we want to start with is if you can give us a sense of what women should look for at the DNC tomorrow, opportunities to engage, speeches to listen to, anything and everything that get a handle on this.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be on and talking to you and to your listeners about this week, which is a really exciting week. You know, this is a first of its kind Democratic convention. We have reimagined how to engage more Americans than ever before, you know, during this global health crisis. You know, a typical convention, you'd have, I think, 16 hours more of programming than you're going to see this week. We're going to be doing a 2-hour broadcast every night, starting Monday night from 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern. And, you know, to keep the program engaging, the average speaking time is really going to be about 2 minutes. So this is really going to be, I think, a different convention. I think we're going to reach people in a way that we haven't seen before. And Monday night, the theme is We the People, which is just so appropriate, you know, as we're confronting all these monumental challenges. You know, the COVID-19 pandemic, tens of millions out of work. You know, we're confronting the racial injustice that has marginalized so many people. And really throughout America's history, when you think about it, when we stand united, we overcome almost any obstacle. And so Monday night, we're going to hear from We the People, the many Americans who are rising up to take on these three crises, unite our country, and join Joe Biden and Kamala Harris in rebuilding the country and moving it forward. And one of the things I'm most excited about this convention that I think really speaks to how it looks and feels different than anything ever before is that, you know, there's always the keynote address. And instead of featuring one person, we're going to feature 17 of the Democratic Party's rising stars from all across the country. And some of the women who are featured, their stories are just amazing. I mean, you have Stacey Abrams. No more needs to be said on that, right? She's just fantastic. We have State Senator Yvonne Cancela from Nevada. She is the daughter of Cuban immigrants. She's the first Latina to serve in the state Senate in Nevada. We've got Nikki Fried from Florida, who is the first woman to be the Commissioner of Agriculture, the first Democrat to be the Commissioner of Agriculture since 2001. I believe that she's the only statewide elected Democrat in the state of Florida. So, you know, this is just one of those examples where you're just going to see the diversity of different ideas and perspectives that the Democratic Party has on how to move America forward. But we're also going to be, you know, speaking to the future that we're going to build together. And that's a future with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris at the helm. So I think that's some of the, the big picture themes that you're really going to see. Obviously, Senator Harris speaks on Wednesday night. Jill Biden speaks on Tuesday night. We have Michelle Obama on Monday night. Of course, the Biden family and Vice President Biden on Thursday night. So really every night there's just some real powerhouses who you're going to see, as well as some stories of inspiring Americans who are going to come on. We're going to hear from women who are really facing in really personal ways the challenges that we've seen under the Trump administration. So that contrast is really going to be clear as well.
One thing I think is so interesting this time around, sometimes conventions feel like sort of an exclusive event, like you have to have been a person who was invited in the door. And this time we're all kind of going to be experiencing it the same way. So we'll all be in our separate homes, but together, sort of online experiencing it. How can people sort of engage with the convention, with the process this week?
Yeah, I mean, this is another thing that's really, I think we're finding the silver linings of the situation that we're in. One of the things, there are different caucus meetings throughout the week, and they're open to the public. So, for example, the Women's Caucus is meeting on Monday, and people can sign up and be a part of that, the American public. So that's an example of, just the access that I think is really opening up to everyone. And then on the, Women for Biden and other groups across the campaign will be hosting watch parties on Tuesday and Wednesday evening, starting at 8:30 p.m. And this is, again, like just really special programming that I'm really excited about. On Tuesday night, we have Jamie Lee Curtis and New Mexico's Governor Lujan Grisham joining the Women for Biden watch party. On Wednesday night, we have Denai Guerrera, who is just an incredible actress. And I've heard her speak before. She's very inspiring. So these are like exclusive events just for, this is just a Women for Biden event, obviously, but there are other, watch party programs that people can plug into based on, what their interest is. And that just, again, we're really opening up the doors here and meeting people where they are, which is really exciting.
The others I'm particularly excited about is tomorrow night, I believe, progressives are an event. And of course, lots of the progressives are women. So yet another opportunity for people to participate. So I wanted to go to the vice president's selection of Senate, how fabulous that was. And if you could share with the thinking was, why the campaign is so thrilled that she said yes, why she's the right person for the job, how you believe she will help mobilize women voters.
Yeah, this is a great question. I mean, I think there's a few things that I want to point out here, just on a broad scale. And then to your point about what she means to women, especially, the vice president has said from the very beginning of, he wanted to choose someone who could take on the job, who could be president, and who he could, have this sort of relationship that he had with President Obama, which I think made their partnership so successful. And really, there is no doubt that Kamala Harris has all of the qualities and all of the qualifications needed to take over as president at any time. She represents the largest state in the country in the Senate. She serves on two really critical committees, the Intelligence and the Judiciary committees. She ran one of the largest legal operations in the world as the Attorney General of California. And of course, she's run for president. So she's ready on day one. And I think really her record is so inspiring. As Attorney General, she beat the big banks. She cracked down on mortgage fraud. She took on the ban on gay marriage and helped change the law. She fought big oil to protect the environment. She has faced down the gun lobby. So really, I think the two of them together, they are ready to take on the big fights ahead if they win. And she's already shown the courage and the success to win those big fights. And I think that is one of the really key things here that I'm seeing with the women who are coming into the campaign and getting more involved. They're so inspired by her record and her story. And they see in her our own hopes for ourselves and for our daughters and for the next generation, of not being afraid to take on those big fights, of having the courage to go into the room and ask the hard questions and get the answers. And she's done that. We've seen her go toe to toe with Jeff Sessions. And I can remember watching that hearing and still I hear him saying, "Senator, you're making me nervous." but she wasn't afraid. She just kept, she asked the tough questions. Brett Kavanaugh in the Senate hearings, we saw that there too. She's held the administration's feet to the fire over racial justice. So I think all of this, we see she is the right person to take on Donald Trump and Mike Pence on the campaign trail. Mark your calendars, by the way. October 7th is the Kamala Harris, Mike Pence VP debate. And I'm so excited for that. I think we're really going to see the contrast at all levels, especially that night. And so as vice president, she'll be in the Situation Room. She'll be in the cabinet room asking the hard questions about what's broken in our government and our country, and helping Joe Biden get the answers on how we take on those challenges and fix it.
I think one of the things that's so exciting about Vice President Biden's selection of Senator Harris, and then also what his whole staff looks like, really is how it's clear that he loves strong women, believes that strong women are important in helping shape his ideas and who he is and what he wants to accomplish. So talk to us some then about what the Biden administration's agenda is for women, the agenda for women, the Build Back Better, and how a Biden-Harris administration would support women. What are some of the ways that they would be looking to really make sure that women's issues are front and center?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the first thing I want to point out is that Joe Biden had a really amazing record on these issues coming into the race. His work on the Violence Against Women Act in the 90s and throughout his career, he's championed small businesses, women-owned small businesses, women's paychecks, our healthcare, our safety, our education. And so we had a really great foundation to build on throughout this campaign. And I think what I've been truly excited about is how much he has elevated the issues that matter to women with his women's agenda, as you just pointed out, and also with a few other policies that we've rolled out this summer. So this is a big priority for the campaign, and it's a big priority for him. He's been very clear that all issues are women's issues. The economy, healthcare, national security. These are issues that matter to women. And of course, there are particular issues that really impact their lives. So as you said, he's put out a bold and comprehensive agenda for women that covers everything from reproductive health to student debt. And there are three things I think that I would pull out. It's a very comprehensive plan, so it's truly hard for me to choose three. But if I could highlight three, the first is really economic security. So Joe and President Obama, they took on the fight for equal pay. The Lilly Ledbetter Fair Pay Act was the very first bill signed into law in their administration. And by the way, she has endorsed Joe Biden's campaign. And I think that's because she knows, as I believe, that he's really going to build on that progress to advance the fight for equal pay, invest in small women-owned businesses, expand access to education and training. And that's really critical, especially right now as we're seeing so many hardships that tens of millions of Americans are facing with the COVID-19 crisis and the economic crisis that's come with that. The second part of the plan that I'm really excited about is that it would expand access to healthcare and tackle health inequities. When it came to passing the Affordable Care Act, Joe Biden was very proud of the work that he did with President Obama to make sure that insurance companies couldn't charge you more because you were a woman or because you were a domestic violence survivor. And instead that these companies had to cover essential benefits like maternity care, preventative services like mammograms free of charge, right? And this, I think, really comes down to, his own personal experience with healthcare, understanding why quality, affordable healthcare is so important. When his son, Beau, was in his final months, I've heard the vice president talk about how he was grateful that the one thing his family didn't need to worry about was whether his son would have access to the care he needed. And so many Americans do not have that guarantee. And that's scary, right? Especially during a public health crisis. That's really scary. So, the contrast here especially is so great because you have Donald Trump thinking, okay, it's a pandemic. This is a great time to get rid of coverage for people with pre-existing conditions by suing states to roll back the Affordable Care Act. Not to mention, of course, that COVID-19, if you've had it, is a pre-existing condition, but fine. So I think Joe wants to build on the Affordable Care Act by expanding access to high-quality, affordable health care, including reproductive health care, by the way. And then the third thing that I would just highlight from the agenda is how much it focuses on helping women navigate work and families. And I really want to emphasize, no one is saying balance work and family, because that is not a reality for women pre-COVID, and it's certainly not a reality right now. And I think Joe Biden's history here, it really speaks to this part of the agenda. You know, he was a single dad for 5 years. When he lost his first wife in a tragic car accident, he took the train back and forth to DC every morning and every night so that he could be there for his family. He's taking care of aging parents. You know, he's had these experiences that so many Americans have. He relates to this experience. He knows that oftentimes families have to make really hard choices, but we don't want those choices to feel impossible or really put people between a rock and a hard place. So this plan really lifts up expanding access to affordable childcare and affordable care for aging parents and people with disabilities. For example, under his plan for childcare, the typical American family would pay no more than $47 a week for childcare, which truly, when I first saw it set, I was like, I have to look at that again. $47 a week. That is what his plan would do. So, you know, on top of that, you're going to see fairer and more flexible work schedules, making paid leave the law of the land. Let's guarantee up to 12 weeks of paid leave for people so that they can take care of their families when they need to, take care of themselves when they need to, right? So I really think this is an issue that he really understands, and that you would see that empathy from him in his policies as well.
You know, Rachel, one of the things, of course, related to the development of the policy, the passage of these policies, is who's doing the work, and including the women who would be in the cabinet in the workforce, running various agencies. A bit about how it is looking at how he wants to fill up his administration, so to speak, the kind of personnel policy he's going to engage in.
Yeah, this is such a great question. I think he has made a commitment here to make sure that his government looks like the rest of America. So his political appointees, his cabinet, they are going to look like the rest of America. And if you want to Google Trump's cabinet right now, you will see that is not the case in terms of where we are. I really, this is not a new thing for Joe Biden. Back in his Senate days, at a time where so many Senate offices were very white and male, he was always elevating smart women in his Senate office. You see that in our campaign staff right now. I mean, every day I start email threads with some really badass women in our campaign, and I'm just blown away. We have all female threads sometimes where I'm just like, I cannot believe all these jobs are filled by such amazing women. And that's what you're going to see in a Biden and Harris administration as well. You're going to see that smart women are elevated, and women who get it done are going to be given the opportunity to do that. And that includes, by the way, when his approach to the Supreme Court, he has committed to making sure that his first nomination to the Supreme Court would be a Black woman, which is really inspiring. And we're just hearing so much, especially in the Women for Biden community, about, you know, this means so much to women, and it means so much to our daughters and to our, you know, the next generation, to be able to say, the women's place is in the House, it's in the Senate, it's in the White House, it's in the Supreme Court. It doesn't matter, you know, who you are or what you look like. If you're smart and you can get it done, you belong in the room.
You've mentioned the Women for Biden a few times. Can you talk a little bit about what that is? How can women get involved in the Women for Biden?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's been really one of the coolest parts about the campaign is that I was on the campaign early last year, or late last year, I should say, when we launched Women for Biden, which is a nationwide network of women doing the work to elect Joe Biden, so doing the organizing. And when we started, we were just a few thousand women, and now we are an army of tens of thousands of women. I think our online communities alone have over 80,000 women. So it's a really powerful network of women who are going to do the work, whatever it takes to get Donald Trump out of the office and elect Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And so this is It's free. All you have to do is be a volunteer, be a supporter. Anyone can sign up at joe.link/women. And by signing up, it's not a big commitment. I know everybody's busy. I know these times are crazy. You get a weekly newsletter every Monday with the tools that you need to organize, with invitations to special calls that we do. Every Thursday night, Women for Biden has a national call where we, hear from some of our powerhouse supporters. It's like an inspirational moment, a pep talk, but then also okay, what do we need to get the work done? How do we phone bank together? How do we, what do you need to know about our new app, which, by the way, is excellent. Everyone should download it. You just text app APP to 30330. So really, this is just a really great community that I think is really going to get it done. We see in every election that women make the difference. And you just look back to 2018, as you all know, to how much women really were the ones who came out and made sure that we sent the message that we did, that Donald Trump and the Republicans, people were not happy with what they're doing. This is not who we are. This is not the nation that we want to be. And we've got to restore the soul of a nation.
We couldn't end on a better note, Rachel. We really appreciate you joining us. And if you would just, as we close out and say thank you, repeat again the main website and the Women for Biden contact information. And of course, all of you can just move right ahead and get involved. So thank you, Rachel, and let us have that as we close.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to say to close that I know, not everyone has supported Joe Biden since the beginning. We all come from different walks of life. We maybe different political stripes, but this is the moment now. And you are welcome in this campaign. You are needed in this campaign. And we would just say, please get involved. Go to joebiden.com, check out our action center there, or join us with Women for Biden at joe.link/women. Sign up and be a part of our community. This is really the moment. We've got less than 90 days and we got to get this done. So I know that together it's a fight that we can win.
Thank you so much. We are so pleased to be able to be shoulder to shoulder with you, the Vice President and Senator Harris. So thanks a lot, Rachel.
Yeah, thank you. And I'll put the link on our website when we post this. And I just went and signed up while you were saying that. So it's quick, easy. Everyone should go do it.
Oh, well, thank you, Kelly. Welcome to Women for Biden. And thank you for having us. Thank you for having the campaign. Thank you for having me. We hope you all tune in to the convention this week.
The Vote Her In segment is a collaboration of Two Broads Talking Politics and author Rebecca Sive. Our theme song is called Are You Listening, off of the album Elephant-Shaped Trees by the band Immunuri, and we're using it with permission of the band. Our logo and other original artwork is by Matthew Weflin and was created for use by this podcast. You can contact us at twobroadstalkingpolitics@gmail.com or on Twitter or Facebook at Two Broads Talk. You can find all of our episodes at twobroadstalkingpolitics.com or anywhere podcasts are found.